not? It's about bipolar, because if anybody saw the last one I did, That's Me, the nurse's outfit, you would have thought she's probably suffering from some sort of mental illness, and I am. But I don't want to make light of it. I wanted to just raise awareness, and I know I'm not a psychiatrist or anything like that, but I just thought if I shared my own experience and a bit of information about it. 1 in 4 of us will suffer a mental illness. I think that's a well-known statistic, but it's bipolar is less common, and it affects less than 1 in 100 people. I put a polar bear because I kind of wanted to be a bit silly because it's a bit serious, and I always find it awkward to be serious. It's a mental health disorder. You can have highs and lows. You can have periods of depression where you can be unhappy and feel agitated. You can't concentrate. You can't sleep. You go for sex and you avoid people, and you kind of feel useless. And then the highs are you can feel more happy and excited, and you don't want to sleep, and you just feel like everything's so fantastic, and you can do anything. You almost feel like you're flying. You feel that manic. And you just feel really overactive, and you make really unrealistic plans and believe that you can do everything and feel like a superhero. And this is famous people with bipolarity. We've got Vincent van Gogh, Britney Spears, the author Sylvia Plath, Stephen Fry and Kurt Cobain, and a lot of people believe that Van Gogh cut his ear off because he was bipolar. There's 4 different types of bipolar. Bipolar 1, you suffer from depression and mania, and the mania lasts more than a week. Bipolar 2, you tend to suffer from depression more than mania. Cyclothymia is depression, and rapid cycling is rapid bipolar. This is me when I was 12, and that's when I started feeling depressed, and I had mood swings, and I started to feel unwell. After a lot of things, I was having a lot of trouble at home, and I was getting bullied at school, and I think that was the time when it sort of triggered it off, and I started to think there was something wrong with me, but I didn't really want to tell anyone, and I did go to the doctors when I was 16, and she said it was just a phase, there was nothing wrong with me, and that I'd grow out of it, but I was getting these feelings where I'd be manic 1 week, and the next minute I'd be really depressed, and I didn't really know what to do. And I grew up later when I went to university, but that's kind of when it got even worse, and I started hearing voices and having hallucinations, and kind of started drinking a lot to kind of block out the way that I was feeling. It got to the point where I started hurting myself because I was sort of the condition was sort of so out of control that I just felt that was the only way of releasing the pressure, was to just hurt myself. And it got to the point where I asked for help from my friends at uni, and they didn't really want to help me, so I ended up taking an overdose. And this is really happy. I ended up taking an overdose because I just didn't want to carry on anymore, and it wasn't so much that I wanted to die, because it was more I just wanted the pain to stop. I just wanted to feel like everybody else. I wanted to feel like I could get on with my life and I could cope with things. But luckily, it was when I went home and my mum found me, and she called an ambulance, and luckily I was found, and I ended up being taken to hospital, and I was in hospital for about 3 days. Where's my next slide? Yeah, I ended up in hospital. God save the NHS. And it was that sort of, God save our NHS, that sort of made me think about wanting to work for the NHS. And after that, I started getting counselling, and I started on medication, and I started to feel like there was sort of a light at the end of the tunnel. And because of my experiences being in and out of hospital, I was in and out of hospital a lot after that, and I felt like I really wanted to help other people. I ended up getting a few jobs, and I ended up paying for counselling myself because I was never offered it on the NHS. And I felt that really helped me as I got counselling. I ended up talking to somebody about my experiences, and it sort of made me think about the next step. And I wanted to help other people. I started a job in nursing, and I decided I wanted to help Mind, which is a mental health charity that helped me. So I ran the London Marathon, and I raised about £1,650 for Mind, because that was a way I wanted to help others. And that's me after I did the marathon, and I don't know why I'm crying, because I look so horrendous. And I did it in about 6 hours and 45 minutes. This is a long time. No wonder I'm so upset. And I did a lot of campaign work. I did a lot in the media. I did a shoot for Glamour magazine. I did an article about suicide, and I did an article in the Yorkshire Evening Post. I was in the Yorkshire Evening Post a few times because I felt if I could make other people raise awareness of it, it'd help other people, see that there's a life after feeling like that those feelings aren't going to be forever, that you can have this condition called bipolar, but it's not forever, and you can find some happiness, and you can learn to deal with it. So I know I've sort of waffled on, but if it sort of raises people's awareness of it, that's what I'm doing. And these are actual things that I got information from that are probably more good to get information from than me. So, sorry, I'm not good at being serious. Thank you very much.